Happy birthday!
Nick Foligno will not play tonight due to a family reason.
Dear Milana,
He missed the 3-game road trip for personal reasons.
happy birthday
Nick has been with both his daughter and his wife while she recuperates.
to you and many more.
Yeah, we celebrated the big 1-year birthday. That was the big kicker. You know, Milana obviously had a tough start to life, but you know, she's thriving now and doing some amazing things.
Good. You see the camera? Come on, stand up.
A really nice way to kind of put some closure on a 1 year that was pretty tough, but we're so fortunate to have her in our lives and can't think of a better daughter.
There was a time when Nick and Janelle Foligno did not know if they would be able to celebrate their daughter's birthday. Just a day after her birth, Milana Foligno was diagnosed with a heart condition, forcing her parents into the most difficult decision of their lives, entrusting their newborn daughter's life to an experimental procedure only performed at Boston Children's Hospital.
Milana came here, she was pretty sick when she was in Columbus. She got transported here. It was really at the point where she really needed the surgery in an emergency type situation. So that was really more evidence for everybody that she really needed the surgery.
About 50% of children with this severe mitral valve abnormality will survive beyond a year to 2 years of age. This was the first time that I was taking care of a family who had, found out about this procedure, had advocated and wanted to come here and were willing to trust in me that I could help Milana. That meant so much to me.
It's called the Melody valve, and it's actually used in the pulmonary valve in adults. They were finding it was doing really good things in that situation, but this incredible surgeon and cardiologist decided that they kind of looked at the way it was working and thought it could really help babies with this mitral valve regurgitation.
I was examining the valve one day when I compressed it down to a small size, and I found that it actually worked. For that reason, I thought that this would be a perfect design to use it as a mitral valve replacement so that we could expand it as the child grew. Something gave me the peace and calm to say this is going to work out fine, especially when I saw her face and I saw her, looking at me. There was some communication there saying it's going to be fine. We're really meant for each other, and this operation is going to go well, and I'm going to be fine.
I remember the surgery. That was the longest 7 hours of my life. They told us it was supposed to be 5 to 6 hours and ended up being 7, so then you start to worry. And the last hour felt like a day and a half.
She came out of the operating room, the valve was working fine, she was on minimal medications, her heart was functioning well.
It was amazing. All she needed was that little extra help, and she was able to fly through the rest of her recovery.
And she really surprised us all. She was, I believe, out of the hospital within 2 weeks.
And now the doctors have determined that she is strong enough to allow Dad to go back to work.
Nick gave us tickets. Dr. Imani and I and our kids went to the game. Of course, we were all torn about which team we were supporting.
Even though, we're from Boston, we were rooting for Nick all the way. Well, I can now go back to it. There was a certain charge that I saw in his eyes, and I knew that he was thinking of Milana when he was out there.
Foligno for Chaput, kicked out Johnson. Foligno scores! Nick Foligno gets one for his little daughter.
That was for my daughter for sure.
It absolutely was for Milana. Congratulations.
He scored in that game. That made our day. It was so great to be able to see him being out there and being passionate after a really rough couple of months, not knowing how Milana was going to do.
Milana was his fight. Milana was his passion that he kind of wanted to bring to the game.
It's hard to imagine what he was going through, but at the same time, I think that he handled it just with tremendous courage. He wouldn't bring any negative energy to the rink, and he wouldn't let it affect anybody else.
I remember him telling me that there's no stress anymore when it comes to if you're battling for one you love. Hockey's nothing. It's an easy game from there because any adversity you go through hockey is nothing like you do when you're fighting for your life.
I think it allowed me to play better, to be honest with you. I hate to say it, but I think it allowed me to kind of just play the game for what it was and work hard, and hockey was my escape and made me a better player. I truly feel I'm a better person.
Milana Foligno was just the 17th child in the world to undergo this procedure. And while that number is climbing, there are still parents and doctors in North America unaware that it even exists.
I hope I can raise some awareness because unfortunately there's still kids that have this mitral valve disease, and the more people that use this valve and the more success that they see with it, that's the only way it's going to get FDA approved.
Physicians are not good at publicizing what they do, and although I've told people in my small circle of pediatric cardiac surgeons about this development and I've published it, it's not a loud enough of a bullhorn.
If we can help get the word out that this melody valve is saving lives, the message I want to get across is we're so thankful that our daughter's alive because of this technology. I'll feel so great if I know it's going to save many more children's lives.